Hi, my name is Rafael Nadal, and I'm about to tell you about my life. My story starts in Spain at June 3rd, 1985, where I was born. I had one younger sister who I cared for. Today she comes to my games and cheers for me. Thanks, sis. Anyways, my parents had many brothers and sisters that helped me shape who I am today. One of my uncles, Uncle Miguel, who was a professional soccer player, had a huge impact on my life because he was the one who inspired me and told me to keep going forward. He also brought me to his games where we took a picture before the game starts. My other uncle, Uncle Tony, was my coach and also the one who got me into tennis at age 3. He ran a tennis club where I, along with a few other friends, were taught by him. I loved tennis from the start, but I was also obsessed with soccer. I played with my friends whenever we were available. Anything with a ball and a group of friends was fun for me. Of the two sports, I liked soccer better than tennis. It wasn't until age 13 where I knew my future was dedicated to tennis. I remember Uncle Tony was especially hard on me and only me. He would shout a lot and use bad language. And I would always get these sinking feelings every time I arrived to a training session because of him. Uncle Miguel would always remind me of how if I was wandering around distracted, Uncle Tony would hit a ball at me, not to hurt me, but to scare me. Thanks a lot, Tony. But after all, I was his nephew. Growing up, I was disciplined well. My parents would always tell me to close my mouth while I eat or greet people with a good morning. When I was young, my dad always told me to greet and congratulate our other team during the end of soccer games, whether we win or lose, because if I didn't, I knew I would get in trouble. This habit caught on later in life. After every professional tennis match, I would praise the opponent because he deserves it. Aside from Uncle Tony being rough on me and the discipline I received, I had a fairly good childhood, unlike lots of famous people who started from rock bottom to a really successful life. When I was young, the one thing that bothered me a lot was losing. Whether it be a simple game of darts or a whole tennis tournament, I hated losing. In fact, this trait stayed with me even until today. I remember this one time I had a great summer with my friends, but all the fun took away time for practice on the tennis courts. Soon I found myself playing a tennis tournament facing an opponent who was older than me. I lost 6-3, 6-3 to an opponent that I should have beaten. On the way home, I was deadly silent. My father was driving me, trying to cheer me up by reminding me about all the fun I had that summer. However, instead of feeling better, I burst out in tears, knowing that all the fun from that summer doesn't make up for the loss I had. This feeling was absolutely dreadful, and I never, ever wanted to feel this way again. The next few years, I started to get famous for my amazing skills around the world. I met professionals and rallied with them and got some tips on how to improve my game. Many people were amazed at my amazing talent and how amazing my skills were in such a young age. At 2001, I turned to a professional tennis player. Hooray! With Uncle Tony, of course, still being my coach. As I became a professional tennis player, I noticed more threats came at me, trying to stop me from winning the Wimbledon Open, my dream when I was just 13 years old. I faced injuries that kept me from continuing tennis as I climbed up the ATP ranks. I made new rivals who would always be the barrier from me to my dream. This one particular guy, his name was Roger Federer. He was my biggest barrier from winning Wimbledon 2006. We were both the finalists for this year's Wimbledon Open. I played my hardest, but as expected, I lost to him. I felt the feeling of that time when I was young, when I lost 6-3, 6-3. I promised myself I wouldn't feel this way again, but obviously this promise has been broken. 2007 came by, and it was again me versus Federer in the Wimbledon Open. This time it was closer, but I lost again. The same old dreadful feeling came by, and this time it was worse than ever. After the game, I'm embarrassed to say this, but I was crying. No, I was bawling. When the Wimbledon 2008 Open came, after barely defeating previous opponents, it was me versus Roger Federer again. But this year, I felt something different, a new confidence. I was also mentally prepared, which is a big thing about tennis. In the end, I managed to pull it off, and I freaking won Wimbledon 2008. I was on the ground, crying tears of joy. I will never forget this moment. Today, right now, I am number one in the world. I passed Federer in ranks at 2010, but went up and down throughout the years. Still, I hold the title for being one of the best players. I wouldn't have been able to do this without the support of my family, friends, and even my fans. Thank you.